Hey, Pets First Nationwide followers. So, welcome back to another fun-filled adventure at Pets First Nationwide / PFN out here in Riesel, Texas. As you can see, today is a rainy, kind of a gloomy, rainy day. It wasn't raining very much. It's still not raining very much now. Only a couple hours of 40 to 50% chance of rain. But I can tell you right now, the ground, the animals, the trees are loving it. If you haven't heard, if you live locally, we do have an event coming up on the 29th. It is an early event, 9 to 12, limited spots only. You'll need to go on our website to register with a waiver and a volunteer form. But we're going to do an introduction to Pets First. It's our Welcome Back to Texas special. Basically, it's going to go through how Pets First came to be, given the fact that it was originated in Texas, and it's also going to talk about how you in your community can make a difference. We've been asked over the last year, what makes Pets First different? Well, we try to preach our 3 key principles, which is education, care, and commitment, and we still hold true to those. But the short end of the story, or the short end of the explanation, is we want to help you better the lives of the pets around you. That simple. Okay. So today we're in enclosure 3, pod 3, cell block 3, CB3. If you catch if you catch what I'm saying. But anyway, so we are here with Gretel. She is currently by herself, as you can see. She does enjoy it. When your animals get to live in a area that is big enough for them to explore themselves, their area, and they're not cooped up and they're not in close quarters. I see a lot of, and I'm guilty of that myself. When I first started getting dogs, my dogs lived inside with us. But now with getting, having wolf dogs, they are a different kind of dog, and they need to be treated as such. Now, obviously, their recall is not great unless they're fully trained. And can you train them? Sure, they do adapt to training very well. Their mind is large. Their eagerness to find that drive or that high value item is great. There are very successful trainers out there, owners that can do great things with theirs, but you just got to realize that they're not going to just bend over for you, and they're not just going to allow you to mistreat them like I would say our dogs do. So it's got to be a good, solid respect factor between you and the animals. It also comes down to when you have animals in this big of enclosure, and this is this kind of, I think the video is kind of exaggerating the size, but in reality the size is 75 by 75 enclosures. I've always wanted big ones. I've always wanted open spaces, ones that we have a new landscape that we can do what we want to with it, and we finally have it. Now, we are making some property improvements. We do have like I said, our first event coming up. Hopefully our gazebos will be in by then. It should be in this weekend. But, when animals get, big enough, the area is big enough for them to release mental frustration, it's very important. I don't care what you do to give them all the obstacles, hurdles, features in the world. If they are not mentally happy, they are going to be animals that do not want to be in that environment. So what you do, you end up having, animals that are problematic. But anyway, so pod 3, we've got our crepe myrtle. We got our crepe myrtle. We got our stock tanks, ones with water, ones without water. I don't know. I didn't really have a reason or why that I didn't want to. Didn't really have a reason why I didn't do the big one, fill it up with water. I guess I wanted to test these out and see if the dogs are going to chew on them and things like that. But these are IBE tanks. They're a thin plastic wall, but they are great when they stand up to cold and heat. Like, they are phenomenal against temperatures, so extreme temperatures. They're a thinner, plastic mix, but the good news is they actually have a ball valve built in. The top part of the container, where the whole container is encased in an aluminum hollow tube frame, and that's what you see right there. So in here, we got the maples the crepe myrtles that we put in, and then she has a whole wide range of her own territory, or as Steve Irwin used to say, is territory. But anyway, I just want to show you guys what we have going on a nice peaceful day, which is a steady breeze and probably 80 degrees with lesser humidity and rain. The animals get to enjoy it. I think this last week they've really got to enjoy their enclosures. The thing of moving animals this far across country and putting them in a new situation is that these animals, they have a hard time handling it. Unfortunately, just so everybody knows, we did lose one. We lost Shiloh last week. Don't know exactly why, but his necropsy did come back in full detail today, so I will receive that, which is going to be good. I'm going to look at that over tonight, go through it and see what's going on. But we also did receive his remains back. I'm going to tell you the heartbreaking part about it is when you end up doing cremation with your animals, it's hard to get them back, but it's also closure at the same time. And so the company that did it did phenomenal. They engraved his box. They gave a box. They actually took a paw print, which I know for Dallas they didn't do one. They actually did a paw print ink print, but they actually did a paw print in a clay mold, and even, believe it or not, got some of his hairs into it, which, again, it's hard to talk about, but we'll get through it. So anyway, this is me signing out. So June 29th. It is a limited spot only. There is no attendance fee. If your heart tells you to, donate, money's not what we're looking for. We're looking for trees like crepe myrtles, ash trees, oak trees, things that are shaded trees that can grow and hardy and can withstand, the elements. Or if you want to, donate stock tanks, we can always use those. Food wise, we don't really typically do food because it doesn't really hold its value. It can go bad quick. But things like building materials. So we got some gazebos on the way. We're going to put those together out here, 10 by 10, nice metal ones. And then we're also going to build structures underneath to keep them off the ground, when it rains, if it rains heavily. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Check us out, follow us, hit that like and subscribe. That's YouTube talk, but hit that follow button and we'll bring you as many cool videos as we possibly can. See you later.